Last time on Alien Soldier. Things go boom! But can Epsilon fix this problem? Welcome to part 3 and possibly the finale of Alien Soldier if I play my cards right. Yeah, this game, compared to Dynamite Headdy, which was Treasure's previous game, is not really that long in comparison. Or at least Dynamite Headdy felt long to me, I don't know. This game always felt shorter, with Dynamite Headdy feeling like it's 3 hours long for some reason. I don't know why. But that's besides the point. I'll do a Dynamite Headdy second playthrough later. We are somewhere. I thought the planet exploded. What happened? Well, all I can say is time travel or something? Space-time continuum nonsense? They did mention that in the story, so I guess that's the only thing that makes sense. So I assume it's Planet Sierra of the past, or A Earth if you're playing the Japanese version. And I gotta say, I love this game's art style. That background, the mountains, remind me of Phantasy Star 4. It just looks so detailed. Like, you would not believe that this is actually an unfinished game. Which, yes, unfortunately, Alien Soldier is an unfinished game. But look, it's actually a good game, and it's unfinished. What? Yeah, I'm gonna go there. What the hell happened with Sonic 06? That game is unfinished, that took like 3 years to make, and it's still a piece of crap. What happened, Sega? What happened? What's the old saying? A delayed game is eventually good, but a rush game is forever bad? Well, not in Alien Soldier's case. And Sonic 06, that was just bad development cycle. That was just really bad. But you can tell there are some cracks in the foundation, like the half-assed story, but it's a run and gun. Who really cares about the story of Alien Soldier? Contra, you're playing as some Marines trying to stop an alien invasion. Cuphead, you're trying to stop the devil. What story? I'm not exactly asking for Final Fantasy VII character development, I'm just trying to destroy shit. But yeah, other than that, there probably was going to be a few more bosses, but this game is already packed to the brim with bosses. This might be one of the largest Sega Genesis games outside of Phantasy Star 4, like I mentioned earlier. That's not even including the voice samples, the drum samples, which are actually very crisp, the music, which sounds great, the character animations, which look great, the backgrounds, like, you get the picture. The beautiful picture in the background. It's like I can lick the snow off the mountain, it's so gorgeous. Oh, anyway, stage 19. I like this song. I forgot what it was called though. I think it was Seven Prayers or something. It's something. The name is very unconventional for this type of game. The soundtrack as a whole is actually pretty unconventional for the Sega Genesis because it sounds like a Sega Genesis game, but it also does not sound like a Genesis game, if you know what I mean. I mean, you got the crunchy synthesizer sounds, which, you know, that's the Sega Genesis part, but then you got the drum samples, which sound very, very, very realistic. It's almost kind of like Mega Turrican. But that's besides the point. I actually do really like the soundtrack. If I were to pick one singular track from this game, it would probably be Galaxy Desert. Anyway, here's a boss that may look familiar if you played Treasure's previous game, Gunstar Heroes. It's Jampan, or as he was known in Gunstar as Melon Bread. Funny name. This boss is pretty easy. For one thing, this boss breaks the fourth wall, but more importantly, he requires you to do the zero teleport more than any other boss. And I'm botching this fight really heavily. He's not supposed to be this hard. He really isn't that hard. I'm just sucking today. That's going to make the next boss a total nightmare. I just hope I can get health back for the next one. Shit.
Emergency. Battery full.
Not only do we have another Gunstar Heroes reference, but Epsilon has to kill his At least I think that's the girl that died from Z Tiger in the beginning of the game. Story that doesn't make sense and doesn't matter to the whole overall game. Yeah, she even has cyborg arms. That's definitely her. Now, 7 Force, or more specifically Valkyrie Force, attacks with a boomerang. Sometimes, if you get too close, she tends to prefer kicking you like she's Chun-Li or something. Or she attempts to kick you regardless. Now, her boomerang attack does have a certain point of range. You stay at the other side of the screen, you're definitely safe. But there's another attack where she basically has like this arm missile or wrist rocket. Watch those wrist rockets! The range on the wrist rocket is infinite, but you can jump over it easily. Now, the next form of the boss fight, Medusa Force, is pretty much a breather. All this thing does is roll around and occasionally speed up. And you can actually get health back. There's a lot of health drops. So you can pretty much cheese this part of the fight if you can get health back and then do the Phoenix Force and just dash into the Medusa Force over and over again. That's your best strategy because there are a hell of a lot of health pickups. Oh god! Gotta go fast! Somebody get this purple Sonic ripoff out of here. She stinks! Lasers are your best friend here. Honestly, I should have gotten rid of that Flame Force on the left of my weapon bar, but oh well. I'm probably gonna need it for one more boss down the road. Oh, that is sort of terrifying and satisfying at the same time because I took so much damage there. Ow, the bombs. You gotta watch out for the bombs, otherwise you'll take damage. Needless damage too, because they're kind of easy to avoid here. God damn it! Ah! Okay, not good. Not good. Super clear voice samples there. That's something that the Sega Genesis does not do all that well. But somehow Alien Soldier does. Anyway, here's Sylphid Force. This part of the fight is entirely in freefall. You have to aim your Lancer Force, or pretty much any weapon that's not the Flame Force, into its face. The Mantis will protect its face if you keep on the attack, and this is where the homing shot comes into play because you can bypass the shielding and do extra damage. Well, not really extra damage, but you'll still be able to do damage regardless. You also got to be careful of the momentum because not only are you falling straight down, but you're also kind of falling to the right. So you might end up crashing into the Mantis by mistake. Wait a minute, isn't it just straight up illegal to kill mantises? Apparently Sega did not get that memo. There's even the Mantis enemies from Sonic 2, you know, the slicers from Metropolis. Oh yeah, you want to kill those. You want to kill those enemies because they are annoying. Cat! It's a really big cat. And this cat is dangerous. So what you want to do for Artemis here, and yes, all these forms are named after goddesses in different mythologies, so the theming is consistent. Artemis is probably the most troublesome part of the fight because her AI tends to be all over the place. She'll either jump at you or she'll just continue to shoot these shockwave attack. Ow. That attack, and it hurts. I'm in a bad place here. Hopefully she could shoot another shockwave attack because I can parry those and get health back that way. Oh, come on. No, not like that. She's gonna drag out the fight by charging at me, is she? Yes, she is. Oh, stop doing that. I need health back. Ugh. A good thing about Epsilon Ego and his overpoweredness is whenever you're over 1 HP, if you get hit by an attack that would kill you normally, you'll just drop down to 1 HP. But if another attack connects and you're in that state, you'll just straight up explode. Yeah, Kaede's not making this easy. Oh yeah, that's apparently her name. 7 Force's name in this universe is Kaede Nanase. She was killed by Z Tiger, who was killed by us, and now she's trying to take her vengeance by trying to kill us even though we were trying to avenge her. What? Dude, that's like if Aerith got killed by Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII and then she came back to try and kill Cloud. It doesn't make sense. I honestly could see that happening in Remake 3, actually. The series already does not make sense on a story concept. Oh, I got hit again. I'll tell you what, whenever Final Fantasy VII Remake 3 If that's a whole lot of numbers comes out, I'll do a playthrough of the whole entire trilogy. And I might even do the original 7 eventually. Oh, I was planning to get to 7 eventually either way, but still. What you're supposed to do, and yes, I know there are a couple of veteran players out there scratching their heads and like asking themselves, why are you just stalling? I'm trying to get health back. You already have 10 minutes to deal with Kaede, so why not? Anyway, what you're supposed to do is aim for the tail. The laser will make short work of her in her tigress state. Anyway, here's the final form, Siren Force. Based in mythology, sirens are pretty much just killer mermaids. They sing a song so alluring that sailors go into the waters by themselves, and then the sirens drag those sailors to their graves. Their watery, watery graves. Yeah, grim, I know. But lucky for us, we can breathe underwater. So this part of the fight is more tedious than it is hard. You have to wait for the opportunity to shoot the siren in its face, or the torso, with your laser. Your fire weapons don't work, and that includes the homing shot. It does not work in this situation because you're underwater. But somehow, your flame weapons work in space? I don't know, you make it make sense. I'm done trying to explain the nonsensical nature of Alien Soldier's universe. You also gotta watch out for mines here. You can parry these bad boys, but they do not turn into health, unfortunately, so that sucks. This part of the fight has you and Siren going in a clockwise fashion, as demonstrated by the particle effects on screen. You can somewhat take control back and go anywhere on screen, but you want to go with the flow here. It's safer that way. And here, demonstrating that the homing force does not work underwater. Hey, if we're underwater, how could there be a... Yeah, good old SpongeBob. I have not seen that series in a long time. I think the last time I seen anything SpongeBob was the second movie, Sponge on the Run, or Sponge Out of Water. I think it was Sponge Out of Water. Yeah, that one was good. Everything else after that, I guess I grew up. I grew up and I tuned SpongeBob out for a long time. Or at least the newer episodes. I still watch a lot of the older episodes and the first movie from time to time. Anyway, the reason I'm stalling the fight out is because I ran out of both laser ammo. I should have gotten another one of those things. Anyway, we're all clear, kid. Anyway, here's my favorite track in the game, Galaxy Desert. It just sounds so ominous, but it's also kind of cheerful at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. I also don't know how to explain this part either. You're in an asteroid belt, which is presumably the destroyed planet that we just escaped from. So we went back to the past just to go back to the future. Okay, then. And there are some asteroids that are in the foreground, and some asteroids that are like on your plane of existence, so you might get hit by an asteroid and not even see it. I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the playthrough. Well, I guess it's kind of obvious. I am playing the European version of this game, not the Japanese version. Other than the frame rate difference between the PAL region and the Japanese region, as well as the retranslation for the European version to make somewhat more sense, there is no other difference between Alien Soldier Japan and Alien Soldier Europe. Just so I clear that up, I did play the original Japanese version way back when, so if you want to see that, it's on the channel somewhere. Somewhere down there. I don't know. Just expect a lot of typos in the script. Terror list? What's a terror list? Anyway, here's the destroyer prototype. Pretty easy for a prototype. I thought the prototype was supposed to be stronger than the actual thing. Or maybe not. That's how it's supposed to be portrayed in media anyway. Usually the prototype is the more dangerous creation. That's why Tony Stark never went back to that first Iron Man suit. That thing looked freaking lethal. As in lethal to Tony, not the terrorists he was killing. He was actually kicking the terrorists' ass. But it looked like it hurt to even be in that thing. Anyway, we got these guys who look like they belong on the cover of Mega Man X2. They look that out of place here. But that's not the main issue, and neither are these missiles. The main issue is the boss coming up. A nice graphical effect on the background right there, so line scrolling. Looks kind of sort of vaguely squint if you miss it mode 7. But the Genesis does not do mode 7, so what is this? What is this sorcery? Anyway, here's Shield Viper, who I mentioned Mega Man X earlier, but this sounds exactly like a Mega Man X villain right here. Viper's weak point is the head if you're going to use the laser, otherwise just use the flame shot. It's going to roast him like a chestnut. Now, when he's doing this move, use the counter force. You'll gain a massive amount of health back, and you'll probably even gain the Phoenix Force ability too. Laser is no bueno, I can't shoot him accurately. Ah! There we go. Suck it, Viper! Oh, the soundtrack is so good. Anyway, this should be the end of Shield Viper as we speak. Come on. Brilliant! Oh, dude, imagine if Epsilon was a football player. He'd kill people. Anyway, see you for the finale of Alien Soldier.